Logan standing on the left side.
Coach, Logan Murdoch, NBC Sports Bay Area. You guys got outscored pretty big in the third quarter. How did it get away from you in the third?
I thought they just took it to us right from the beginning of the quarter. Kawhi hit 2 threes immediately, and they turned up their defense, and they just got on a run, and we just sort of lost that defensive tenacity that we had in the first half.
Right, standing.
Coach Dan Devine from The Ringer. Uncomfortable position to be in, but not one you haven't seen before, down 3-1. What can you take from your past experience being on the brink as you try to get the guys ready for Game 5?
You just try to win one game. That's what we did a few years ago against OKC. Win one game and then you move forward. So that's our focus now. We'll fly to Toronto tomorrow and take a look at the film, see what we can do better, and try to win a game. We've won a lot of games over the years, so I'll try to win another one.
Third row over here.
CJ Peterson, San Francisco Examiner. Steve, obviously, Kawhi's 36 really carried Toronto tonight, but Serge Ibaka's 20 really hurt you guys. He's really active in the pick and roll. What was so hard about guarding Serge tonight?
He just got it going, and they did a good job in the second half of moving the ball and finding the open man. They hit 8 threes in the second half after we did a good job on them in the first. And so the ball started moving, and they found Serge in the pockets and in the middle of the paint several times, and he had a great game.
Towards the middle.
Nate Duncan, Dunked On Podcast. Coach, this is the most that your defense has struggled in a series since you've been here. What's been the issue for you guys defensively in the series?
We're playing a really good team that moves the ball. And I think we've had our moments defensively, but we haven't been able to string together the stops over the course of a game that we've needed to. So I give them the credit. They've just played really well offensively, and they got a lot of threats out there, a lot of shooters, a lot of passers, and so they're playing well. And we've got to do better.
Phil, fourth row on the right.
Hey, Steve. Phil Barber, Santa Rosa Press Democrat. It seemed like Steph struggled to find shots for a lot of the evening. What were you trying to do to get him shots? And in retrospect, could you have done more?
Well, we'll take a look at the tape. But, we've been playing a certain style for a long time here. And, the ball moves. And Steph's one of the great off-ball cutters in the league and can play both on and off the ball, and so we're trying to mix up, the different things that we do, and it wasn't his best game, but he'll bounce back.
Tim on the back left.
Steve, Tim Reynolds with the AP. Obviously, I'm sure it's a very down room right now for obvious reasons. How important is it to sort of find some morale in the next 72 hours? How important and how daunting do you think that task will be as you try to stave this thing off on Monday?
I don't think it's daunting at all. We go to Toronto, and this is what we do for a living. We play basketball, so we look forward to playing another basketball game in an exciting atmosphere and the ultimate test, NBA Finals. So I think we look at it as a challenge, and obviously we've got to lick our wounds tonight. Tough loss, but the game's a few days away. We'll have plenty of energy, and we'll be ready to go.
Again in the back, Ron.
Steve, Ron Krejcik from the San Francisco Chronicle. You talked a little bit about Steph. Did the Raptors approach him any differently defensively, given what he did the other night? And obviously some of that is affected by Klay's presence. How did that sort of mesh? How did you think Klay played tonight?
Klay was amazing. I mean, with a tweaked hamstring to do what he did. Looney as well, coming in and playing 20 minutes. Given his injury status. So both those guys are they're warriors, no pun intended. They just compete, and I'm really proud of both of them. Both played really well, but again, it wasn't enough in terms of our team effort.
Standing on your right, Monty.
Monty Poole, NBC Sports Bay Area. Steve, first half, you guys, I think going in at halftime, you're up 4. Was there a sense that you could have been up by more? I mean, all the turnovers that kept coming even in the second half. How much did that played a role in what happened tonight, just the turning the ball over and so forth, the empty possessions?
Yeah, I think the turnovers hurt us. And yeah, we probably played well enough in the first half to be up 8 or 10. But that's not abnormal in the NBA. They stayed in the game with their free throws in the first half. I think they made 10 to our 2, and that kept it close while they were struggling offensively. And again, they start out the third with Kawhi hits 2 straight threes to give them the lead, and I thought there was a surge of energy for them at that point, and that was a really key moment, those first few minutes of the third quarter.
Do last 2 questions, third row, and then Jeff over here on the right.
Grant Cohn, Santa Rosa Press Democrat. Steve, you guys have to take 3 in a row now from a team that's taken 5 of 6 from you this season. Where do you go from here? How much better do you guys have to play to win this series?
We go to Toronto, and we try to win a game. It's as simple as that. So we're not thinking about winning 3 games. We're thinking about winning 1 game, and that's the task. So I know we're capable. We got a lot of talent, and we got a lot of pride. These guys have been to the finals 5 straight years for a reason. They're unbelievably competitive, and they're together, and they're going to fight. They're going to fight the whole way. So we'll go try to get 1 win, and if we can do that, come back here and see what happens.
Jeff on the right.
Corrado Barria News Group. Steve, one of your most competitive guys, obviously, is Draymond. Seems like he came out in the first half and was playing his brains out on defense. The second half, it looked like he lost this guy a few times. What did you think of his play tonight?
Oh, Draymond played. He played so hard tonight out there. The first half, the intensity level was incredible. Just to see the athleticism and the defensive energy by both teams, it was amazing. And Draymond's always right at the center of all that. One of the best defenders I've ever seen, and he's flying around and doing his thing and covering everybody, and then offensively, handling the ball and trying to distribute the ball to our shooters. And so Draymond always makes a huge impact on the game, and I thought he did tonight. But again, it was a group effort, and we didn't have enough as a group to win the game.
Thank you, Coach.
Thanks.